It's Shabalala! Goal! Bafana, Bafana!
And goal, Shabalala for the goal for Bafana Bafana. Except it wasn't that goal. It's an own goal. And it's not by Shabalala, and it's not Bafana Bafana, but it is South Africa scoring an own goal, another own goal this week. While they profess to desire to improve relations with the United States, they continually insult the United States, supporting rogue terror state sponsors like Tehran. And here's the latest in that story. Breitbart News' Joel Pollack broke a story which appeared on Twitter. He got the story from there, and this is that Deputy Minister Thandi Moraka, from the Director of International Relations Cooperation, DIRCO, South Africa's foreign ministry, signed a book of condolence at the Embassy of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Deputy Minister was received by Ambassador of Iran, Mr. Shakib Mer. Folks, the government of South Africa has publicly gone to great pains to claim that it is a neutral player in international politics, falsely proclaiming that they were neutral in the Ukraine-Russia war. They're not. They're pro-Russia. Falsely claiming that they're neutral in the international stage. They're not. They're pro-terror regimes, pro-state sponsors of terror, and pro-communist regimes like Cuba, Venezuela, and China. So this own goal, photographs of the Deputy Minister, Thandi Moraka, signing this condolence book. Now, what's this for? When I first heard about this, I was like, oh my goodness, did the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei pass away? He is an octogenarian. Maybe he died. Nope, it's not that. This is what the Iranian Facebook embassy post said. Following the blatant aggression by the Zionist regime against the territory of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which led to the martyrdom of hundreds of Iranian military commanders, university professors, women, and children, it did definitely lead to the death of military commanders and some university professors who were working on a nuclear weapons program. Women and children, not so much. A book of condolence was opened on Monday, 30 June, and Tuesday, 1 July at the Embassy of the Islamic Republic of Iran in Pretoria. Now, folks, at this hour on the 2nd of July, we're still awaiting the announcement from when DIRCO officials will be arriving at the Israeli embassy to sign condolences for the 27 civilians killed in the indiscriminate Iranian missile targeting and strikes against civilian targets in Israel. Now, interesting that that hasn't happened, and it will not happen. And we all know that Iran is a state sponsor of terror. It has proxies like the Houthis, who fired a missile at Israel yesterday, was shot down by the Iron Dome. Hamas and Hezbollah, all of whom have murdered indiscriminately Christians, Muslims, Jews, Druze, indiscriminately to achieve their terror aims. And they're supported by money coming from Tehran. South Africa knows this, and they have no shame in signing a book of condolence, another own goal by South Africa's government. And they wonder why 31% tariffs will be dropping on their lap in less than a week. They wonder why the United States has stopped giving South Africa $500 million on average per year in gifted grant money. Falsely lying about why the money was taken away and falsely claiming it had no impact, when we know now quite clearly that most of the medical and scientific research taking place in South African universities is ground to a halt because the U.S. taxpayers are no longer funding it. And the South African government has been busy using the money elsewhere. So they're begging for money for research, which is ground to a halt. We've also discovered, despite the protestations and the misrepresentations of PEPFAR money, falsely claiming the government of South Africa, well, the U.S. only contributes 17%. We can handle this. That the surveillance and monitoring of HIV and those who are HIV positive across South Africa is also ground to a complete halt, and many people are no longer receiving their antiretrovirals and proper care because of suspension of foreign assistance as a consequence of Cyril Ramaphosa's game of pretending to sign the expropriation without compensation and abrogate property rights in January in Davos, when he'd actually signed it in December and misled the world. Own goals. It seems to be what the ANC is best at, own goals. They have no concern whatsoever for citizens in South Africa. None whatsoever. I've not heard a single South African government official speak out about the assassination of Babita Deokaran, a woman who simply discovered an accounting error, which of course was related to fraud. She reported, and for that, she was executed by gangsters or hitmen. Yeah, okay. But you have time to sign a book of condolence for dead nuclear scientist and military officials in a war. Now, where's your condolence signing at the Israeli embassy? There isn't one. Another own goal by South Africa's government. Surprise, surprise. Relations between the U.S. and South Africa are not going to get better. This arrogance, this continued disrespect for humanity and for human life and endorsement of state sponsors of terror is going to lead to further deterioration in relations between the United States and South Africa. And that's sad for all concerned. But what else is going to happen here? The cheekiness, the behavior of these officials in South Africa is just beyond the pale. What say you, South Africa? What say you, Mzansi? Cheers.